Imagine a title that crowned kings, from the Plantagenets to the Tudors, a symbol of unyielding royal power, the Duke of York. It's not just a name, it's the monarchy's beating heart, a pillar etched into Britain's DNA. But in 2025, that historic honor is effectively retired, stripped away not by war or rebellion, but by the grotesque shadow of one man's depravity. Prince Andrew. This isn't fairytale royalty, this is a critical takedown of entitlement run amok. From sweaty denials to multi-million-pound payoffs, we'll dissect how Andrew's actions shattered his facade of charm and duty. Let's start at the beginning, because Andrew's downfall isn't a sudden plot twist, it's the rotten fruit of a life marinated in unchecked privilege. Born second in line to the throne in 1960, Andrew was the golden child, the war hero of the Falklands, the charmer who married Fergie in a spectacle that screamed fairy tale. But peel back the velvet curtain, and you find a man who treated the world like his personal playground, his public persona? The dutiful royal, patron of charities, father of princesses. But evidence paints a sharper picture, a serial philanderer whose 1996 divorce from Sarah Ferguson exploded amid tales of toe-sucking tabloids and open affairs. Andrew didn't just flirt with scandal. He dove in head first, emerging unscathed because, well, royalty. Fast forward to the 2000s, as a working royal, he jetted globally on taxpayer dime, brokering shady deals like his infamous Kazakhstan ties, where he pocketed favors from dictators while preaching trade ethics. Critics called it cronyism. Andrew called it business. But the real rot festered in his social circle. Hosting parties at Royal Lodge with the likes of Harvey Weinstein and Ghislaine Maxwell? That's not eccentricity, that's willful blindness to predators. Andrew's 2019 BBC interview, oh, what a gift to detractors, didn't defend his honor, it demolished it. Sweating through denials like a man cornered, he claimed no recollection of meeting Giuffre, despite that damning photo. I was at Pizza Express in Woking, he said, as if memory loss excused arm around a teenager poses. And the kicker? He couldn't feel remorse because he wasn't sweating at the time, citing a medical condition from the Falklands. Incisive? No, insulting. This wasn't a slip. It was a masterclass in aristocratic arrogance, where truth bends to title. Andrew's persona as the affable uncle? A veneer cracked wide open, revealing a man more loyal to luxury than legality. Now, the heart of the horror, Jeffrey Epstein. Andrew didn't just know this monster. He reveled in his orbit, a moth to a flame of forbidden wealth and vice. Flight logs don't lie. 4 trips on Epstein's Lolita Expresses between 1999 and 2006, zipping to his private island where underage girls were the unspoken entertainment. Andrew waved it off as honorable friendship, even after Epstein's 2008 conviction for procuring a minor. Honorable? That's code for I knew, and I stayed. Enter Virginia Giuffre, the brave whistleblower whose 2021 lawsuit exposed Andrew's darkest hour. At 17, trafficked by Epstein and Maxwell, she alleged 3 sexual encounters with Andrew. A sweaty London tryst at Maxwell's home, a New York mansion assault, and an island orgy that left her broken. Evidence? That 2001 photo, verified by judges, showing Andrew's arm possessively around her waist, Maxwell smirking beside them. Andrew's response? Deny the image's authenticity, claim it was faked, despite metadata screaming otherwise. His legal maneuvers were a farce of power. In 2022, facing deposition, he settled for millions, estimates swirl from 12 to 16 million pounds, without admitting guilt, but acknowledging Giuffre's suffering as a victim of abuse. A donation to her victim's charity? Slap on the wrist for a man who flew with a trafficker. And post-settlement? Reports emerged of Andrew's team hiring online trolls to harass Giuffre, and even enlisting a royal bodyguard to dig dirt on her in 2011. This isn't defense, it's deflection, a prince weaponizing privilege to silence survivors. Giuffre's posthumous memoir, Nobody's Girl, released this October after her tragic suicide at 41, seals the critique. She described Andrew as entitled, believing sex with her was his birthright, an orgy where she miscarried a fetus, her body a royal discard. Andrew's association wasn't passive, it was participatory, a thread in Epstein's web that ensnared the vulnerable. His 2010 final meeting with Epstein? A 2011 email begging for help quashing the photo scandal. Evidence mounts, yet accountability? A ghost. This prince didn't stumble into scandal, he built the stage. The Duke of York title, held by warrior kings like Richard III and benevolent ones like George VI, was Andrew's crown jewel, bestowed by his mother in 1986. It symbolized stability, a pillar of the monarchy as Cortés once gushed. But Andrew's scandals turned it toxic. By 2019, Post-interview, he was sidelined from duties. 2022 stripped military honors and Her Royal Highness usage. And now, October 2025, after discussions with King Charles, Andrew surrenders the title entirely, effectively retired, a historic first in over a century. Why now? Giuffre's book reignited fury, with US probes into Epstein files naming Andrew anew. Public polls scream irrelevance for the royals. X erupts with calls for full exile. He retains Prince, lives rent-free at Royal Lodge. But the dukedom? Dormant, a relic poisoned by predation. This isn't reform, it's damage control, too late to salvage a persona built on sand. But here's the real gut punch. Even after the interview imploded and Giuffre's 2021 lawsuit hit, Andrew clung to his perks like a life raft. He settled for a reported £12 million in 2022, without admitting guilt, of course, yet kept his gilded lifestyle intact. Stripped of military titles and patronages in January 2022 by the Queen, he still lounged at Royal Lodge, that sprawling Windsor estate, on a peppercorn rent of £1 a year, taxpayer-funded security and all. A1AB 15. Fast forward to now. The 2025 title surrender feels like a forced eviction notice, triggered by fresh Epstein document leaks and public fury. No more His Royal Highness, no more kilogram insignia. But whispers say he still flaunts Duke in private letters, a sneaky end run around accountability. King Charles, under mounting pressure to cleanse the brand, finally twisted the arm. Yet Andrew's exile is luxurious. No eviction from the palace pile-up, no repayment of that settlement hush money. It's privilege personified, a scandal-ridden spare part who tarnishes the throne but never truly pays the piper. Andrew's saga isn't isolated, it's a glaring indictment of the monarchy's rot. His actions, ignoring Epstein's crimes, fumbling the interview, hoarding privileges, shatter the fairy-tale facade. Public support plummets, with MPs demanding the title's permanent burial to spare future heirs. Prince William eyes breaking tradition altogether, ensuring no son inherits this poisoned chalice. Andrew's Playboy Prince mask? Cracked wide open, revealing a man whose entitlement endangers the very institution he claims to serve. So, as the Duke of York title fades into royal retirement, a historic pillar toppled by one prince's parade of poor choices, what lingers? Not redemption, but a stark warning. Prince Andrew's story is a litany of lapses, a friendship with a fiend that defied decency, denials that dripped with delusion, and a cushy comeuppance that mocks true justice. He challenged the world to see beyond his scandals, but all we see is a man who gambled the monarchy's goodwill and lost. In the end, Prince Andrew's tale is a requiem for royal delusion, a man who mistook scepter for shield, entitlement for exoneration. From Epstein's jets to Giuffre's grave, his actions didn't just fell a title, they fractured faith in the firm. The Duke of York sleeps, but the questions howl. How many more secrets lurk in palace shadows? Andrew's legacy? Not valor, but victimhood inflicted. Demand better from your crown, or watch it crumble. If this exposed the rot, hit like, subscribe, and share your fury below. The monarchy's pillar? Toppled. Fade to truth.